Namaste. I am Anita Goa and welcome to the first video in an 8-part series of beginner vinyasa yoga. I call it Beginner 8. I'm going to teach you how you can practice vinyasa flow yoga, or my interpretation of it, Goa flow. Let's get started. My intention with this video is to teach you the Vinyasa yoga breath, how to connect your breath with the movements that we'll be making, as well as connect you into your abdominals or into your core. But make sure that you sit in a comfortable seat, first of all. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, just like this, or you can take a yoga block and place it underneath your seat. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a blanket or a pillow. You can even sit in a chair, that's perfectly fine. So the Vinyasa yoga breath essentially is called UJJAYI breathing, and that translates to victorious breath. Yes, we are moving into victory, that is for sure. We are going to really explore our lung capacity and connect to our own internal power and our own fullest potential. So the UJJAYI breathing, or the Vinyasa yoga breath, is so wonderful in that because it helps us to manage our energy better. And as we move and we breathe, we become much more economical and efficient in our moving, and that then will translate to more energy. So we need energy to do the things that we want to do in our life, right? First, the UJJAYI breathing, or the Vinyasa yoga breath. Basically, it is a breath that has sound to it, and it's often also referred to as the ocean breath or Darth Vader breathing, because we slightly contract our throat muscles together, not our neck muscles, but our throat muscles. We make sure that our lower abdominals are drawn in so that we open and expand through our rib cage, and we use our diaphragm, which is our breathing muscle. Our diaphragm is right underneath our rib cage. So when we breathe this way, we are strengthening our diaphragm, we are massaging our heart, and we are really getting deep into our lungs and using ourselves to our fullest capacity. Most of the time, we don't breathe to our fullest capacity, so yoga is a wonderful tool to really help us do so. So a few steps in order to get you to be able to do this. First, you're going to imagine, or you're going to try to think of yourself as fogging up a mirror. And you can place your hand in front of you so that you can really feel the breath. Your mouth is going to be slightly open, and you're going to exhale like this, like you're fogging up the mirror. And you're going to inhale like that as well, which might feel a little weird and tingly into your throat. So try to do that again. Now, we don't want to breathe that way with our mouth open. That would not be an efficient way of breathing. So this is just a way of trying to teach you this. We want to make sure that we breathe with our mouth closed. So now you're going to try to do that with your mouth closed and with your navel pulled in ever so slightly. When you inhale with your mouth closed, think of drawing the breath in through the back of your throat, slightly contracting your throat muscles together, sending the breath down into your rib cage, and your rib cage expands. When you exhale, you very gradually start to empty your lungs very gradually start to move back to normal. You're sending the breath all the way back out, and you're emptying it out. Essentially, it is moving in and out through your nose, because if you look at an anatomy chart, the same passageway basically leads down into the lungs. The nose have these beautiful filters. So that's why we want to make sure that we breathe in and out through our nose so that it filters the air before it enters our lungs. So we don't want to breathe in or out through our mouth. Okay, now I'm going to lift my shirt and I'm going to show you exactly how it looks like. So you draw your navel in. You can keep your hands on your lower belly to feel that your navel is drawn in. Then place your hands on your rib cage. Mouth is closed, and you're going to inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So you see that? Those are long inhales and long exhales. And because we were contracting the throat muscles together, we were narrowing the breath in as well as out. So it's like taking 5 lanes of traffic and putting those 5 lanes of traffic into 1 lane of traffic, and then that lane and that traffic will go on forever and ever and ever, right? So let's practice that for a little bit more. Place the hands on the rib cage. Feel free to close your eyes, soften your jaw, your face, your neck, your shoulders, and the navel is pulled in. Inhale through the back of the throat. Feel the rib cage expanding. And then exhale out through the back of the throat. Feel the rib cage go back to normal. And then continue on. You can either keep your hands on your rib cage or rest your hands on your thighs. Inhaling it fully. And exhaling completely. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Good. Now, what is the first word that comes to mind when you were practicing that way? Say it first. For me, it was just peace and quiet, drawing in, and just comforting. The breath, I think, is all of that, and whatever words you put to it, it is as well. So now we're going to connect some movement together with this breath and see what happens then. So we're going to come into a tabletop position. So you're going to set yourself up so that your arms are shoulder distance apart and your legs are hip distance apart. Press your palms and your shins into the floor and really spread your fingers. Exhale as you round it into a cat stretch. Drop your head. Feel like you're pressing the floor away from you. And as you press the floor away from you, separating your shoulder blades and wrapping them a little bit into your armpits. And then inhale, arch it into a cow. Try to curl your toes under and press back into your toes and your feet a bit. Do that again. Exhale, round it into a cat. So this is a little mini vinyasa. And inhale, arch it into a cow. Exhale, rounding into the cat. So connecting the breath with the movement. And inhale, arch it to a cow. Making our spine flexible and getting into our core. Come back into a neutral pelvis and a neutral spine. Point your feet and draw your knees a little bit closer together. Make sure there's a little bit of space between the knees. And extend the right leg out to hip height. Flex your right foot and see that your right toes point down. And then you point the right foot. We're going to exhale and round the spine again like a cat stretch, but draw the nose and the knee together. And then inhale, extend. And it's fine if the nose and the knee don't touch quite yet. Do that again 4 more times. Exhale, round. Draw up through the navel. Feel the shoulder blades separating. And inhale, extend. Good. Exhale, round. And you might feel a stretch of the right side of your spine. And inhale, extend. Matching this breath with this movement. And extend. One more time, exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Lower the right knee back to the floor and extend your left leg out. Flex the left foot, see the toes point down. Left leg is hip height. Point the foot and then exhale, round. Draw the nose to the knee. And inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Now it might feel a little different on this side. And extend. Exhale, round. You're stretching the left side of the spine. And extend. And you get a little butt lift with this one as well. That's always an added bonus, we must admit. One more time, exhale, round. And inhale, extend. Great, lower the left leg down. Excellent, and just sit back onto your heels. So very simple movement together with the breath. If you start to get that, then you have something to really build on. But this is just the foundation. Now we're going to lie down on the floor. So scoot yourself to the front of your mat. Take your block or your pillow, and we're going to roll ourselves down to the floor and place the block or the pillow behind the head. Make sure that your head is relaxed and your neck is relaxed as well. All right, draw your knees into your chest and see that your lower back is on the floor. Place your hands on your hip bones and feel that your hip bones are leveled and anchored into the floor. Draw your navel in, and as we're going to do the abdominal sequence now, you're going to feel that your navel is drawn in the whole entire time. That's going to be a little bit challenging probably initially, but feeling that stability, and then you got all the space in your rib cage to breathe from. So try this. You're going to push the right leg away as you draw the left knee in, and then draw the right knee in as you push the left leg away. So just keep breathing. Exhale and inhale with it. All the while as your legs are moving, your navel is pulled in, your hip bones are anchored, your face is soft, your neck and your shoulders are soft, and you feel that your breath is supporting you, and you feel that your abs are supporting you. And life feels good, although maybe your abdomen is starting to shake a bit and burn a bit. But that's good, yeah. Really strengthening a very important energy center here, which has to do with inner confidence, inner strength, personal power, you know, being allowing ourselves to see things through, putting action into what we want to manifest, right? And now developing a personal yoga practice, allowing ourselves to start from the beginning and then open up and expand from there. Such a beautiful thing. All right, last one. And then draw both knees in. And just give yourself a little breather. Continue to keep your hands in the same place or just rest them at the side and see what happens. And try to extend the legs and bring them down on a diagonal. However far that is for you, where you feel that your navel is still pulled in, your lower back is supported on the ground. And then you inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, feel like you're pressing against the wall, straightening the legs out on a diagonal. Try to keep the upper body soft. And then inhale, bend. Exhale, draw the navel in and hold it. And then inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten it out. And inhale, bend. 2 more times, I think. Exhale, I think that was 5 then. And inhale, exhale, and inhale. Beautiful. So here you just start to notice how important it is to get that lower abdominal engagement and keep the breath moving with whatever it is that you're doing. So place your hands around your knees, cup the knees, draw the knees away as you lift your head up. Imagine that your legs are about 500 pounds and they help you to propel forward, but draw in through the abdomen and very gradually start to lift up. And if you need a little momentum initially, that's fine. Then eventually you don't need it. Yay! Good. Now we're going to turn around onto our abdominals. We're going to ground our pelvis into the floor through our front, coming onto our forearms into what's called the Sphinx pose. Okay, now this is what is considered a backward bend. So here we're strengthening the muscles in our back body. Feel that your pubic bone is resting on the floor. Squeeze the bottom of your buttocks a little bit and feel that you're drawing your navel in and up. Lift through the breastbone, wrap your shoulder blades a bit into your armpits. And feel that you're lifting up through the heart. Make sure that you're in a position here where your neck is comfortable and where you can breathe. It should not feel crunchy in your lower back. It should feel supportive, but you'll probably feel a little bit of a stretch through your abdominals. Full breath in, full breath out. So this one is wonderful for good posture. Good, and you're going to press through the heels of your hands, lift your elbows in, pivot on the heels of the hands and turn your elbows out and rest your forehead onto your hands into crocodile pose. From here, maintaining the stability in your pelvis, lift your navel up, squeeze your buttocks, and try to lift your legs off the floor. All right, and squeeze the muscle in the back of your thighs as well. Full breath in, full breath out. So part of core is also buttocks, and also part of moving into backward bend, the buttocks is very much involved in all of the muscles of the back body. So we have to strengthen our deep back muscles, our buttocks, and our hamstrings. So this is all a part of the foundational work. And then train ourselves to breathe within it. Good. And then release the leg down. The legs down. Move your hands back, right next to your ribs, elbows on top of the wrist. Press the floor away from you and sit back into a child's pose. Yeah, just give your lower back a little bit of a stretch there. After it had been bent backwards, which might not feel so natural initially. And then drag the arms along the floor, pull in through the navel, and slowly roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae, into what we call hero pose. We won't be here for too long. But see that, how beautiful it is to keep connecting the breath with the movement, getting into our spine, keeping our spine flexible. It is said that age is not measured by years, but by the flexibility of our spine. So if we keep breathing fully and consciously, and if we keep our spine flexible, we never age. We'll get older, but we'll never age, because the first thing that happens to old people is the posture, So if we keep our posture good, then we will look young forever. We'll take that, right? Now sit back down, and you're going to come to the center of your mat. We'll find a pose that is called Dandasana, or stick pose. This one is quite challenging actually, but it's a pose that we return to over and over again during our seated poses. And you want to sit to the tips of the sitting bones. I'll show you first how it looks like. Legs are extended, feet are flexed, spine is long, arms are at the side of the body, and possibly the palms are touching the ground. That's a handful, right? So try it on. Notice how this feels on you. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you need to sit on a blanket, elevate your hips. right? If your palms don't touch, that's okay. Keep your fingertips to touch either in the front, right next to you, or even to the back is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you feel that your lower abdomen is active, your breastbone is lifted, and your shoulders are rolled back. So you have an extended spine. Right? This one is all about trying to find some balance between the lower body, the upper body, the front body, the back body, as well as the side body. Our muscular strength, our muscular flexibility plays a role here, but also the proportion of our body, of our skeleton, also plays a huge role. So somebody might have really short arms compared to a very longer torso. For those, we'll never be able to ground the palms to the floor. Some might have longer arms and a shorter torso, where maybe the elbows will be a little bit bent, right? So unless you keep working with the pose, you'll never know, what balance might look for you in your physical body. So try to sit here every day from now on and try to notice what muscles feel tight, what muscles feel weak, and what needs to sort of give and what needs to be pulled in order to find that balance. And then the rest of it we just surrender to, whatever is, whatever can't be changed, nothing to be done with and nothing to fret over. So from our Dandasana, our stick pose, we're going to do some footwork, which is going to be helpful for when we start our sun salutations and when we start moving. We're going to have to curl our toes and point our feet and work into our ankles. So keep your focal point at your toes. You're going to exhale and squeeze your toes as much as you can. And then inhale, release, and spread them apart. Exhale, squeeze, tighten them. And then inhale, release, and open. Do that again. Exhale, squeeze and tighten. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze and tighten. Inhale and open. Exhale, squeeze and tighten. Your Ujjayi breath is there. Inhale and open. Now exhale, point the feet. So you'll feel the stretch through the shins and a contraction through the calf. And flex, inhale. Feel the stretch through the calf and the strength through the shin. Do that again. Exhale, point. And inhale, flex. Exhale, point. This will essentially become your upward facing dog. And then inhale, flex. This will be your downward facing dog eventually. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Good, and then release. Separate your feet a little bit, so when you turn your toes in, they can touch. And now you're going to point the feet and make a big circle and flex. So exhale, point. Inhale, flex. In a circular movement. So moving around your ankles. Exhale and inhale, and then reverse. Exhale and inhale. So half the circle and the rest of the circle. Very good. And then bring the legs together and shake them out. And these are also little mini vinyasas, connecting the breath with the movements that you're making. Beautiful. Let's just lie down on the floor. If you want to place a bolster behind your knees or a rolled up blanket, feel free to do so. If you want to place a pillow behind your head, feel free to do so. And then adjust yourself once you come down into your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Separate the feet, flip your toes open to the side, keep your arms at the side of your body, palms facing up. Shoulder blades are soft and relaxed into the floor. Just close your eyes and close your mouth. Soften your lips. You can place one hand on your lower belly and one hand on your heart. And now in your Shavasana, you're trying not to apply so much of an Ujjayi breath. You're now just trying to breathe normally. And when you inhale, allow your lower belly to expand. And then when you exhale, allow your lower belly to go back to normal. Inhale and expand. And exhale, let it go back to normal. Because now as you're resting on the floor, your spine and your pelvis is fully supported by the floor or by the earth. And now basically all of that physical effort has been done. And then allow yourself to breathe all the way down into the belly and let it expand. Allow for some movement. So this way we find balance in our lower abs between strength and flexibility. But ultimately allowing this powerful energy to flow. So you strengthen yourself internally and externally. You put effort into your goals and your dreams, your practice. And then from there, you open up and you expand into victory. Whatever that might mean or look like for you. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your practice. Then slowly work your legs together and draw your non-dominant leg in first, the leg that you wouldn't naturally draw in first, and then your dominant leg in second. Draw your knees into your chest. Just give your lower back a little release and roll over onto your right side and push yourself up. And now come back into your seated cross-legged position, which I forgot to say, this is called easy seat. And funny enough that it is called easy because, right, it doesn't seem like it's easy at all. It tends to get easier over time as we move and as we flow, as we breathe, and as our bodies open up. But in the meantime, just give yourself as much tools that you need and elevate your hips, and it surely truly helps a lot along the way. So to end our practice, and sometimes when we begin our practice we say Namaste. We work our palms together and we bow down into the highest within us. And Namaste means I salute the divinity within me to the divinity within you. It's a greeting and it's a form of mutual respect. You might be learning from me, but I bet you that I will be learning equally from you, especially if you leave me a comment in the comment box below and you share with me how the practice felt on your body. And I really, really appreciate if you do that so that I know. So from now on, just try to stay connected with your breath and practice this on your yoga mat. But off of the yoga mat, it's so important as well. It can be Ujjayi breathing, deep belly breathing. When you're walking, maybe your kids to school, or you're running, or you're standing in line waiting to pay for something, or you're chopping vegetables to make you dinner. Whatever it is that you do in your everyday life, the more you can connect into your breath, the more present you will be in the moment, the more you will use that moment to your fullest potential and rise into victory. That's what it's about. So next week, I will share with you video number 2 in our 8-part series. If you have joined us at a later date, then already the videos will have been posted probably. So you can follow the link in the description box below, and all of them will be in the folder there. So I'm excited for this journey, and this was the foundation, and we will move on up from here. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and make sure that you've subscribed, because that helps me out a lot so that I can continue to share in the way that I do. All right, all the best to you. I'll see you next time. Bye.